Hello, everybody. This is Ethan Evans from the Money Multiplier, and today I wanted to talk with you about how to use your policy to finance the boring bills in life, the stuff that everybody has, like your insurance bills and car repairs and stuff like that, that you got to pay for no matter what, even once we're out of debt. Because once we've gotten you out of debt, we need to start using the policy to work on something else. And not everybody's an investor or a business owner. And some people might ask, well, what do I do with my policy now? I've paid off my credit cards, but I still want to put my money to work, but maybe I'm not ready to go and buy a rental property or do a private money deal. Here's some great ways to put your policy to work. So over on my screen here, I'm using the vault, and this is just the kind of the example data here from that comes preloaded in. So let's say that these are your bills. So here we've got a couple sources of income on the household side. We've got a few different things, and I've added some notes in here where I think you probably could pay this kind of a bill with your IBC policy. We're not even talking velocity banking yet. Let's just say that these are your bills and you're out of debt and you're looking to finance something else. So maybe your property taxes. If you're saving up $255 a month, that's something we could pay on a quarterly or a semi-annual basis. Your homeowner's insurance with State Farm, that could very likely be paid annually. And in this case, let's just talk about the home insurance. Instead of paying $111 every single month to State Farm to pay for your homeowner's insurance, let's pay it ahead for a year. You'll probably get a slight price break if you do. But even if we don't, let's take that $111 a month, 111 times 12. Let's borrow $1,300 from the policy, pay the homeowner's insurance ahead for 12 months. And now what are we going to do with that $111 a month? We're going to take it and recapture it back to the policy to repay that loan balance. So let's go through and find a couple more examples. Your HOA fees is another one that likely could be paid ahead based on how your HOA is set up if you have those bills. Geico car insurance, that we could probably pay that on an annual or semi-annual basis. Jiffy Lube or car maintenance, you're probably not getting an oil change every month, it's every couple of months. So again, let's put that savings into the policy and then use the policy to pay the auto mechanic and then recapture that $75 a month in this case back to the policy. Living expenses, what do we have here? So again, stuff like Kroger, your groceries, your electric bill, your cell phone bill, the internet bill, keep paying that stuff out of your income as you already are. We want to look for the bigger things. So maybe our Planet Fitness or subscriptions or gym membership, that might be able to be paid at an annual basis. Netflix and Disney, that definitely can be paid at an annual basis. And what about your shopping? Maybe you need to go and refresh your wardrobe every couple of months or a few times a year, so you look good and presentable for what you do. Maybe you can go 4 times a year or so, and we can take a policy loan to pay those quarterly bills and then recapture that monthly budget allocation of $105 a month. If you've got some business expenses, a lot of these can be paid annually too. Maybe you've got business insurance, maybe you've got some software tools for your business that you can pay once a year instead of every month, or even some website things. Again, those likely could be paid per month. So now I've exported these things so just we can kind of get an idea of how all this would work. So I've filtered this out here. And so I've got my annual bills and my quarterly bills in this example. And again, yours could be different. So here we're budgeting and setting aside from our income, here's where the money's flowing to. So if we multiply these things times 12 and then add them all up, we could take out a loan for $8,900 and pay all these annual bills at one time. Again, granted, we got to look at when are the bills actually due and kind of sort that out, but you're getting the idea here. So we can take out a loan for $8,900, pay all of these annual bills, you don't have to worry about them, and now we just change and redirect where these monthly allocated amounts are going to back to the policy to repay the policy loan. And then if you have some things that have to be paid on a quarterly basis, like our car maintenance or maybe our shopping, or when the seasonal taxes are due, just take out the loan for this amount, $1,300 for these 3 line items, pays 1 quarter's worth of these expenses, and we're recapturing these dollar amounts on the monthly basis, add it all up, and send it back to the policy. Let me switch over to a diagram here. So again, just to kind of, big picture, let's think about what we're doing. We're putting our premium into the policy first, because that's our savings where we're paying ourselves first on a monthly or annual basis. So over here, now we've identified, here's all these items that we could pay. Instead of once a month, we could pay them once a year. So let's take a loan from our cash value let's go pay multiple items here as our annual bills that we can pay all in one shot. We've paid them ahead for 12 months. So now we can recapture this monthly payment, and so on, and bring that back over to our policy like I was just showing you on the spreadsheet. And then as those dollars are going back in, they're immediately available the next month as they're going back in. But here's where some people will get caught up and say, well, why, Ethan, why on earth would I want to pay 5, 6, 7%, whatever my policy loan interest rate is, to borrow money when it doesn't cost me anything extra than just paying the bill itself? This is where Nelson Nash talks about everything is financed. If we borrow money from the bank, we pay the bank interest. But if we spend our cash, we don't get to invest those cash dollars. So when we realize that we're either paying interest or losing the opportunity to earn interest, now we see why we want to put all of our dollars over into the policy first and grow that cash value savings so that savings can finance more and more things. And then we can redirect that monthly allocated line item back to the policy to pay ourselves interest. And this is why we should be charging ourselves interest to be honest bankers and treat our money just like like Chase Bank or Wells Fargo Bank, but even better. So if we know what I like to do, this is my approach. I just like to aim for that 10 or 12% range. So if I'm going to borrow at 5%, I'll charge myself 10%. Just add the zero on there. So now I know that I'm covering the interest. Effectively, my interest rate will be a lot lower. That'll be something else we can talk about. But either way, I know I'm giving myself a spread, and I'm saving up for next year when that bill is going to be even more expensive because of inflation. So I hope this has been helpful to you. And once you've paid off your debts, you can use this as an idea to think about where can I use my policy to pay for a bill I already have, and then use my policy to finance that, and then recapture that line item and put it back into my policy instead. Thanks.